I'm John Conrad. Today we're going to discuss if you're ready to retire early. So the first thing I like to do is walk people through their goals. And oftentimes people simply have a number goal, but really that doesn't serve much of a purpose. What you're going to want to do is actually set up goals that you think through and of how your life is going to be and what you're going to do. So a lot of times a good exercise to simply tell yourself, if you won the lottery, what would you do? And of course, you're going to go through the things of what you'd buy. But after you get past that step, think about what you would actually do with your day. How would you spend your time? And it's from this that you're going to actually develop your goals for retirement. Another way to think about it is if an asteroid is going to hit in 5 years, what would you do now and change your life so that you could live your life to the fullest for that next 5 years? How would you prepare? Another test that a lot of people can do is they think of the 5 happiest moments in their lives. How can you repeat those moments? Now, obviously, you can't recreate the birth of your child, but you might want to say something along the lines or think along the lines of how will you spend more time with your grandchildren, with your kids? Those are the types of goals that you'll be thinking about here. And pretty soon I'll run you through a test so that you can take these broad goals and actually put a financial dollar to them. And so you can see where you stand and determine if you can retire early. So let's start running your goals through the REAL test. And what that stands for is the realistic, executable, accessible, and love. If you start with realistic, is it financially realistic that you can achieve this goal? Now, I'm not going to determine whether or not you become the pitcher for the Yankees. What this is looking at is it financially feasible that you can accomplish this goal based on what your current income is or what you expect your current or what you expect your future income to be. And there's 2 ways to do this kind of as a quick test. The one test is if this is going to be an ongoing expense, multiply that number by about 25. And if you multiply that number by 25, that's how much money you're going to need in total to support that goal to go on and on and on throughout the future. The other option is if it's a one-time payment, what you're going to have to do is put it through a financial calculator. It's too complicated to discuss right here, so I'll just send a link below. You can click on that link and then plug in the numbers. I would use a number somewhere between 5 to 7% as your annual return to see if your goal is realistic. So for example, you can put in how much you have saved for your goal already, plus you can put in how much money you're going to put in every year. Now you're going to put in 5 to 7% as the amount of money, as the amount of interest that is going to increase every year, and it'll give you a number of a total cost. So you can see in 10, 15 years how much that goal is going to cost you and how much you have to put in each month to reach that goal. The second part of the REAL test is executable. And what executable means is what is the time frame that you're going to set for yourself to accomplish this goal? Obviously, the farther out that you set the time frame, the easier it will be to reach your goal. So if you decide that you want to retire in 10 years, obviously that's going to be much more difficult than if you decide to retire in 20. That's not only because you can save more money from your own income every year, but a bigger piece of that is what you're going to be able to invest. And with compounding interest, your interest on the interest will grow. So the longer you have, the more likely you are to reach your goals. The third part of the REAL test is accessible. So a lot of these goals are definitely going to be something of you aspire to spend more time with your grandchildren, for example. But that's not actually a financial number that you can put a hold of. So what you need to do is start thinking through how can you put a financial marker on your goals. So for example, it's not just a matter of saying I want to spend more time with my grandchildren, but think through how are you going to spend more time with them. If it's simply a matter of going over to their home more, well, does that mean that you're going to cut back on work so that you have more time? Or if you're already retired, does it mean you want to take more vacations? Whatever you're going to do, make sure you think through what that actually means and then bring it down to a dollar value. It's great to say a general broad idea, and that's what you want to do. But in the end, you're going to have to bring it down to how much does it cost. Now, if it's free, that's great. Obviously, that's going to be a goal that's easy to financially reach. But make sure that any financial goals are brought to a dollar value. And that's going to be important because then you'll know how much to save, and then you'll know when you reach that goal as well. And the fourth part of the real test is love. Whatever you decide to do, make sure you truly love this goal. You're going to be sacrificing for it in the current day. So basically, you're giving up spending today in order to achieve this goal in the future. So really make sure it's something you love. When times get tough and you think, oh, I can't save anymore, think about how much you love this goal, and that's what's going to be the thing that pushes you through and forces you to save to accomplish the goal. If it's a goal that you're not really sure about, you're not going to want to save for it. And when times get tough, you're probably going to just give up on it. So again, just make sure you love this goal, and it's something then you will accomplish. So that's the real test in total. Again, just remember that when you go through the realistic test on those calculations, you're going to want to think through whether or not it's a constant payment for many years and then you're multiplied by 25, or if it's a one-time goal in which you're going to put it through that future value calculator where we have the link below, and then you're going to know how much you have to save for that goal as well. So if you have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to answer any questions below, and I'll see you next time.